Hey everyone, I am Anthony Scott of ToyHypeUSA.com. Today we're going to take a look at the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time arcade figures from NECA Toys. I would like to thank NECA for providing these for review, greatly appreciated. This wave includes Michelangelo, Raphael, Shredder, and Leatherhead. These figures are available now. And as far as the packaging goes, it's the same as previously seen in Wave 1. You see some great artwork inspired from the arcade. I really like how they went about this. The artwork looks great. Everything from the logo, the Turtles in Time text, everything, the images of the turtles. I think they really did a nice job on the execution of that. And here's a look at the back of the packages. Each one has an action shot of the turtles along with a look at the other figures in the line. As you can see, all four of them are unique. And there's a look at one of the sides. Both sides are identical. And you get a look at some of the artwork, some levels in the game, artwork of the turtles. That looks great. And it looks like they're passing through a portal. I really like how they went about this. So what I'm going to do now is open these up and take a closer look. And here's a look at the figures out of packaging. You see Raphael, Michelangelo, Leatherhead, and Shredder. Leatherhead and Shredder are repaints from previous releases. Leatherhead was just released as a cartoon 2-pack, which we'll check out in later this week, most likely. But Raphael and Michelangelo are straightly reissues from the San Diego Comic-Con box set from a few years ago. As far as I can tell, there are no paint differences, and the only difference that I could find is with Raphael's size, which I'll show you guys later in this video and on the site. You can see, check out the paint differences on those accessories. But right now, we're just going to take a look at the group shot. And these are really nicely done, really bright colors. 8-bit deco paint looks phenomenal. They really killed it. So what I'm going to do now is show you guys the back of these figures, which are now right in front of you. Shredder has his cloth cape, more of the 8-bit deco. The sculpting and paint is just phenomenal. Once again, I can't get over how great NECA is doing with these figures. And you can really see where they took care in these. The paint especially, every little 8-bit deco homage line is crisp and clean. It's really phenomenal what they can do with these. And here's a look at the brand new Raphael and Michelangelo figures, along with the previously offered Comic-Con editions. And those are holding their accessories. So, as I said, as far as I can tell, there are no differences in paint, no differences in the shade of colors, such as the red and yellow from the previously offered figures. Just as we've seen with Wave 1 that had Leonardo and Donatello, there were no differences in paint. It's the same thing with these. So let me show you guys the back of the figures. So there's a look at the back, and you know, honestly, just as I'm looking at it, I am seeing a little bit of difference here between this 8-bit deco from the Comic-Con edition and this new one right there. And it looks pretty much the same with, well, actually the Comic-Con edition on Michelangelo came out a little bit brighter where I'm pointing compared to the new edition. So I'm going to take that back and say there might be a little bit of a difference between the paint apps, at least there, on these particular samples. I don't know if that's a big change throughout the production run, but if it is, please leave comments, let us know. So that's just a little thing that I notice now with the lights on and just looking at them more closely. But other than that, it's basically the same thing. And you can really see the amount of deco and detail that were brought into these figures. And since San Diego Comic-Con, I think the year was 2016, but I know that most people didn't have a chance to obtain these figures, and now they do. So that's definitely a great thing, considering how many people want these figures and the size of the fan base with Turtles. It's definitely a good move to offer them outside of that one particular trade show. So what I'm doing now is I'm showing you guys the figures on all sides. You can compare it. So there's a look at their accessories. Raphael and Michelangelo come with their boards, as did Leonardo and Donatello with Wave 1. So now you have a complete set of the Turtles with their boards. Both figures come with interchangeable hands. Raphael comes with his signature size, as you can see here, which again are repainted from San Diego Comic-Con, and I'll show you that in a few moments, where the differences are. Michelangelo comes with his nunchucks and also the spinning edition, as seen with previous releases of the figure, such as the cartoon version, and I'm almost positive that the Comic-Con edition came with this too. But as you can see, everything, these look great. The hoverboards are in a very similar green to the figures, and it comes with their acrylic stand, as you saw with Wave 1. And here's a look at Raphael and Michelangelo holding their signature weapons. Raphael is holding his size with 2 shades of gray, a light gray and a little bit of a darker gray. And Michelangelo comes with his signature nunchucks, which include a real chain link, and he can hold one or both as shown. I really like how they went about these. These look really good. Here's a closer look at the side. You can see the 2 shade of gray, especially right there. You can see the lighter side over here and the darker side over there. That came out exceptionally well. And here's that comparison that I promised of the 2 size. I misspoke earlier. What I meant was that these size are brand new. These are actually smaller than the Comic-Con editions that were released back in the day. And you can also see the paint difference as well between the 2. The original size were an even lighter gray than what's on over here. And it's just the 1 shade on the blade, and the handle on it is darker gray. These size over here, it's 1/2 pretty much is light and the other half is dark. So you can really see the paint differences as well as the size difference between the 2. And they probably made this change because my guess is that the tooling was not usable for these. So that's why they went ahead and did these, or they could have changed factories or whatever the reason may be. But just know that between the 2 versions, he comes with different size. And here's a comparison of Michelangelo holding his nunchucks between the San Diego Comic-Con version. As you can see, the chain links are different between the 2. I originally wasn't expecting that. And I also noticed that there's a little bit of a change of deco between the color of the handles. As you can see, it's a slight different shade. And the nunchucks on the new one are actually a bit more spread apart than they are on the first release, which are closer together. So it's a completely different chain. As you can see in the video right there, you can see the real difference between the two. But again, just like with Raphael, I don't know if this change was actually intentional. I think they meant to just reissue it. So I think this was just done at the factory. And here's a look at Michelangelo's spinning nunchuck. You could see how the blade is spinning, where it's orange and the clear space is just the air in between. And here you can check out their boards. The boards are repaints from the first wave in their iconic colors. You see the red over here for Raphael and the yellow over here for Michelangelo. They also come with their acrylic figure stands, and at the base over here it's bolt jointed, so the surfboard can move around all different ways to your liking, and it's the same for all four of them. Alright, so here's a look at the Turtles riding their boards. As I said a few moments ago, the boards are exactly the same sculpt, just redecoed in their iconic colors, as you can see. And all four of them come with their acrylic figure stands. Alright, so the last thing about the Turtles here are their interchangeable hands. Raphael comes with a set of pointing finger hands, as you can see, how they're sculpted, how they're pointing towards someone or something. It came out really good. And Michelangelo comes with a set of thumbs up, as you can see here. Both his thumbs are up. So what I'm going to do now is take a look at Shredder and then Leatherhead. Alright, there is your look at Shredder. You could see they did a really good job with them. Nice bright paint apps there, the 8-bit deco. Everything is crisp and clean, no bleeding. The blades throughout the sculpt are made of soft plastic, so you don't have to worry about those breaking. And let me just demonstrate that for you. So you can see it move a little bit, which I like the way how they went about that to prevent any breakage. That's really good. The figure is a reissue from previous offering, which I'll show you guys in a few moments. But the paint apps on this figure is really good. Let's take a look at the side. His back there. The other side. And I want to lift up the cape and show you guys the back with more of the 8-bit deco that's hidden behind the cape if you don't lift it up. So you can see they really did I think they nailed it as far as likeness, game likeness and everything. They really did a nice job with them. And here is a closer look at his head sculpt. You could see the eyes and everything. I think they really did a good job with them. The helmet has 8-bit deco, and I believe the blades are the only thing about the sculpts that don't have any of the 8-bit deco. They're just painted in white. And I also want to point out that I think the eyes and the eyebrows and everything here, it's some of the best sculpting and deco throughout the figure there, aside from all this great 8-bit deco and everything else about the figure. They really did a nice job with it. And here's a look at Shredder's accessories. He comes with 2 effect pieces 3 sets of interchangeable hands and a laser sword, which resembles a Jedi lightsaber, but it's not the same thing. So don't get it confused with that, but it looks just like it. So the effect pieces include a one that's the shape of a hand, as if you can reach out and grab someone, as seen in the game. That looks really good. You can see all that great sculpted detail there. Just look at that definition and that they sculpted in there. That looks really good. The palm, everything. I think they nailed it. And that clips on to his forearm there, as you can see. And the other effect piece, that just goes right into his hand. And this is more of a punching piece. So 3 sets of our interchangeable hands, you can see there. And here's a closer look at the laser sword. You can see it's a little bit pointy on the end there. It has a little bit of the some good deco right here between light gray and purple. I think they really did a great job on there. And here's a look at Shredder holding his laser sword with 2 of his interchangeable hands that I put in. This one is the grip hand. This is one of the open hands. And the laser sword works well with them. I think he looks really cool with it. It's a great accessory for him. And I wish he had a weapon like this in the cartoon. It certainly would have made him more interesting as a character and maybe a little bit more deadly. But the video game, I think they really did a good job capturing the likeness and everything. I love it how it, just like a Jedi lightsaber, it thins out at the tip of it. They did a really nice job with that. The handle's good, fits right in his open grip hand there. And here's a look at one of his other hands. I'll show you what this is for in a few moments, but they also did a really good job on there. So there's a closer look at the laser sword. Here's a look at one of Shredder's effect pieces. This one resembles a flame, and you can really see the detail that they introduced in this. I think they really did a good job on it. You can see the great sculpting that they did, the bright yellow, the white in there. This came out really good. And the way this works is it fits right into this particular hand sculpt, which is also offered for this hand. It's identical. And the fingers just go in there, and it holds up very well, as you can see. They really did a nice job on it. You can create some really dynamic poses with it, various ways to showcase this piece. And I think it brings a lot of definition in this particular sculpt. It's very unique. No other Shredder has come with this effect piece. It's brand new, as are the other accessories, except for the hand sculpts for this particular release. All right, so the next piece I want to show you is the hand attachment. And look at that great sculpt that they did with the palm. It looks really good. I think they really went all out. They made it look like a real hand, and it works very well, as you can see. So the way this works is that it attaches right to the bottom of his arm, right there. And the shredder can use this effect to reach out and grab a turtle, attack a turtle, whatever he chooses. Just look at that great sculpted detail with this figure. I think they really did a nice job. There's a look on the outside. You can really see all of the great sculpting, the definition in there. They really nailed it. So you can definitely create some poses, whatever you like. And here's a turtle for him to grab with it. It doesn't really hold a turtle, but it can just rest on their face or whatever you want to do with it. Something like that. That came out very well. And here's a comparison with the Comic-Con edition of Shredder with the 8-bit deco. You see the changes and the newly tooled parts. I can confirm that the head sculpt is all new. You can see that in the eyes right there. You can see that in the shoulder pad. You can see it in the forearms right there. The changes on the armor and the forearms there. You can see it on the bottom legs. How different they are between the two. The cape is also different. As you can see, the Comic-Con cape was made of soft plastic. And the single package release of Shredder, which is the one we're reviewing, it's a fabric cape. So you can really see all the changes that they made with this figure. But he does use the same legs, and I think this piece is the same as I'm looking at it closely. But also looking at it again, the torso is all new. So it's not the same torso there. So there's a lot of changes that they made to the figure, and I was not expecting this many changes. So it's definitely a nice surprise to see that they went all out. But I believe the arms are reused, the flesh tone and everything. And again, what's new here is the armor and the spikes. So overall, this is a really nice Shredder figure. I actually like this one better as it's closer to the cartoon than the Comic-Con edition. They really nailed it. So next up, we're going to take a look at Leatherhead. All right, and we're going to wrap up this review with a look at Leatherhead. Sculpt-wise, he's a solid sculpt. There's a bit of a weight to him, and the deco looks really good. He's got the 8-bit shading all throughout the sculpt, as seen in the game. You can particularly see it on the front with the arms, the jacket, as well as the sides of the legs here. And his head sculpt has the hat that's sculpted to it. Here's a better look at it. You can see the 8-bit deco, especially on the side there. The other side. The ridges on his nose, I think they really did a stellar job with that. the sculpt and paint apps to the teeth. You could see that they're really nicely done. A lot of detail in there. The tongue, everything. Pretty much anything you would want for likeness, they're offering with this figure. The folds in his chest, the shorts here, everything that you would want basically is given to the figure. I also want to say I love this particular shade of green for Leatherhead. I think it's a really solid color. And here is a look at the back. The tail came disattached in the packaging, so you have to attach it, and it's ball jointed. So let me show you guys all that great 8-bit deco, the sculpting to the tail. Just check that out. Full ball joint there. It's ball joint, but it's also limited in range of motion because of this piece here. And you can also see more of the deco on the back of the legs here and the front of the feet all throughout. That looks really, really good. And here's a comparison for you with the cartoon version of Leatherhead that's available as a 2-pack, along with Slash as a Target exclusive, NECA store exclusive. You can really see the difference between the two deco. The shade of the skin is also completely different between the Turtles in Time game and the cartoon. It almost looks like a completely different character in my opinion, but that's how different the character looked. And the only difference with the sculpt is that the cartoon version has a belt right here that goes around his waist. The Turtles in Time figure does not have that, as you can see. So you can also see the hook, and there's one other thing on the back that I'll show you. So it's the same sculpt. You can really see that there, and it's just completely redecoed. And they definitely did a nice job on it. So this is that little extra piece that I was mentioning about a moment ago on the belt. You can see it better there. And there's a look, another angle for you. So we'll be taking a closer look at this cartoon Leatherhead with Slash shortly, but right now we're just focused on the arcade version. And here's a look at Leatherhead's accessories. He comes with 3 sets of interchangeable hands. The closed-fisted, which he has on. He has a set here. One is with a, I guess you can call it a trigger finger hand. And this one is an open grip, which I'll show you guys when those are attached. And these are just open grabbing hands. But this knife, this is something special in my opinion. It really brings out the 8-bit deco very nicely, especially the blade. I mean, look at that. I think they really did a stellar job with it. This is really something special here. I know it's small, but I think it really brings a lot of great detail to the figure. Really makes him stand out. There's a closer look. You can really see all that great sculpt deco that went into this. That looks great. And here's a look at Leatherhead holding his dagger with a set of his interchangeable hands that I put on. And the dagger looks really good with him holding it. You can see it works very well. The colors look good. all that great attention to detail on the deco. It all works very well together. Just look at that. I really like how that dagger came out. That is great attention to detail there. Excellent deco. And you can see this is his trigger finger hand that I mentioned earlier, and this is his open grip hand. So the dagger can be posed in multiple different ways to your liking. And that pose gives you a really good look at the dagger up close. Just look at that great attention to detail there. And there's a look at the other set of Leatherhead's interchangeable hands. These are the open hands that I showed you earlier. And there's a comparison with Michelangelo and Raphael to give you guys a look at a good action shot there. It almost looks like he's ready to reach out and grab them. And I think these hands work very well for him. They, on the cartoon, he wanted to make turtle soup, so these type of hands are good for grabbing a turtle, holding them, and capturing them. Basically, that's what he was trying to do. So they definitely did a great job on this. Let me bring this closer, give you guys a look. So just look at that attention to detail on the hands. Came out really well. And here's another look at all four of these figures together. Overall, it's a great wave, solid character choice. Definitely worth getting. I highly recommend it. These are available for the most part online. I haven't really seen these in stores. So if you want to purchase them, the links to buy are on toyhypeusa.com in the written portion and photo gallery of this review. The link is just below the video in the description on YouTube. Would greatly appreciate that if you clicked off that and then bought this and other things through one of those links. Again, I would like to thank NECA Toys for providing these for review. Greatly appreciated. Please follow us on social media. Please like and share this video. You can find links on the upper right hand side of the website under follow us or in the description below on YouTube. This is Anthony Scott of toyhypeusa.com. Thank you so much for watching and stay tuned for more coverage.